Hi, Poppy Yeager here with This Day in History, March 11th, 2020. Trump issues a travel ban prohibiting foreign travel to the United States. The ban predominantly affected European travelers, but it did not apply to England, nor did it apply to Americans who might have been abroad and wanting to come home. March 11th, 2020 was also the same day the World Health Organization declared that COVID was a pandemic. A week later, the State Department finally issues a travel warning, a travel advisory, telling Americans they're probably better off not traveling because it's not safe. That travel warning came too late for my parents, especially my dad. At the time, March 11th, 2020, my parents were on a ship, a cruise ship, down in Patagonia. They would come home, but Dad would be hospitalized shortly after coming home, and then he would die. Dad was one of the first people to die from COVID in New York. He died on April 14th. I, to this day, blame Donald Trump. He is the reason my father went on that trip, because Donald Trump does not know how to tell the truth. He was withholding information from Americans early on. Yes, the World Health Organization did not declare it a pandemic, COVID a pandemic, until March 11th, but the intel was there. Donald Trump was the head of a country. He knew how bad things were. But he either didn't listen to the information or he intentionally ignored it because he didn't want the stock market to drop. His refusal to absolutely address COVID, to be honest with the American people, to tell them exactly how bad it was, is the reason my parents didn't postpone their trip. If my dad knew how bad it was, I know he would have been like, you know what? We'll do this trip another time. But the president lied. The president withheld information. And therefore, my dad and thousands of other Americans died. My book detailing my dad's battle with COVID and his eventual death, Stolen: Love and Loss in the Time of COVID, will be out in September. It started out as a blog, The Pandemic Diaries, and I detail not just my dad's battle, but Trump's lies, the information he withheld, and the other ridiculousness that Donald Trump was telling the American people. Anyway, that's This Day in History, March 11th, 2020. Trump issued a travel ban, and the World Health Organization declared that COVID was a pandemic.